says,
it'll turn out all right in the end. I used to say that to my friend Pete Shotton, who was in the Quarrymen before Paul was in it. And he used to worry about, taking the GCE exam at grammar school. And I used to use that expression then, which is something will turn out. Because I always failed exams, or never did any work, and he was always worried about his future. And I'd always say to him and the gang that was around me then, because I always had a gang, I was always the leader of a little gang of guys, the usual trip. And the Beatles just became my new gang. But I always had a group of 3 or 4 or 5 guys around with me who would play various roles in my life, supporting and, subservient, but both roles being taken. But in general, me being the bully boy. And it was that I always believed that something would turn up, that it would be all right. So I didn't make plans for the future. I didn't pass the exam. I didn't put a little bit on the side. I didn't, ever. I wasn't capable of doing it. Therefore, I was the one that all the other boys' parents, including Paul's father, would say, keep away from him, because they knew what I was. The parents instinctively recognized what I was, which was a troublemaker, meaning I did not conform and I influenced their children, which I did. I did my best to disrupt every friend's home that there was, partly maybe out of envy that I didn't have this so-called home, but I did. I had an auntie and an uncle and a nice suburban home, thank you very much. And the fact that I wasn't tied to parents, that was the difference. That I would infiltrate the other boys' minds into the parents are not gods. Because I don't live with mine, therefore I know.
Now, John, what do you think that makes you?
Parents were terrified of me and my influence. Simply because I was free from the parent stranglehold. That is the gift that people... That was the gift I got. That was the gift I got of not having parents. I've cried a lot about not having them and the torture it was, but also the gift of awareness is given of not being...
It didn't take for some years.
Right, most people never get out of it. Some people cannot see that their parents are still torturing them even when they're in their 40s and 50s, still have that stranglehold over them and their thoughts and their mind and everything. Well, that's the gift of being a so-called orphan, which I never was at all. My mother was alive and lived 15 minutes walk or away from me all my life, and I saw her sporadically off and on all the time.